Welcome back. Thank you for joining me all by myself. Jonathan's doing an online panto. Tim is doing some work now at this time, but we'll be back tomorrow night with Jonathan as well. And there's loads going on. I'll show you what's going on. I had a troop around Kiev, and I've just been trying to get him back home. Couldn't go back through Kiev's port, because it was taken over by the Chosen, but Ukraine's taken it back. Fantastic. Okay, good on them. That means they're still in the game. Oh, and Ukraine has taken back that home city. There's the Chosen still there. The reason it's a good thing is because we don't want the Chosen to completely overrun their cities and then have to fight the Chosen. They were actually left with one homeland city, but really, it's going to take them a while to recover. Anyway, this troop's come all the way down here. He's kind of there. He's stuck. But I'm going to see if I can get my boat to help him after we've dealt with Greater Serbia. They've got loads going on here. So I've got a stack that's looking a bit worse for wear. 3 Sheridan tanks now, armoured fighting vehicles, and the tank destroyer against an unlevelled motorised infantry and a level 3 combat recon. So pretty strong against them, and they're about to die. And then kind of mixed in between, I can't quite work out where these guys are, but they're heading for... Oh god, I'm a bit sandwiched in between these two guys. So this guy is in Alexiniak, and then this one is sitting on this city, Zadjakar, and I'm kind of in between with these two sort of damaged units, combat recon and a motorised infantry unlevelled, but I've got my boat bashing them at the same time. And I've taken off 6 health, 6.1 off the combat recons, and I'm about to attack again in 7.5 minutes. And then this Great Serbian troop is just kind of sitting there. That one's just sitting there on the city, and so it's kind of, sandwiching me in between these two with this unit. 50 minutes till I get to Zadjakar. Anyway, I've researched the air superiority fighter. It only took half an hour, but it did take quite a lot of resources. And I was having a look, and you don't need to have a leveled up airbase at all. In fact, you only need airbase level 1, arms industry level 1, and then research the thing. So I think I can start building it. It's just on my capital city where I've got the airbase, level 1. And I'm not building anything, so let's see if we can build it now. Fighters, there we go. Air superiority, 1,000 components, 950 electronics. I should have enough. Start building that. It's going to be ready in 23 hours. Now, the reason we're doing that, as you all know, is because Poland has these combat helicopters. And in fact, I've got a bit of intel on them. I'll show you in a minute. But we'll look at the air superiority fighter stats, 8.5 against helicopters. And actually, the doctrine we're in has a stronger attack stat on helicopters than others. And the reason I know this, because I took out an air superiority fighter that's been flying around Timisoara. I couldn't go in there with my troop because there was a troop already there, and I'm not leveled up, so he would have just died. But I've got my boat here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get near enough to hammer him. So he's kept his city, and unfortunately it does have an airbase there, so it's left me vulnerable to attack by those helicopters. So I really desperately need to get some air defense, but also something else I've seen, because I do have the mobile SAM launchers. I'm limping this one back to base, by the way. It got a bit beaten up, 2 out of 15 health left, but they only have attack against planes and helicopters. They don't have anything against helicopters, 2 against missiles. So we're just limping this one back to base. But the interesting thing is my infantry officer has 2.5 defense only against helicopters. So if he's attacked, then he'll fight back. So I need to get him on a stack. But he's still repairing himself. But we're on 28 out of 40 hit points, and they're recovering at a rate of, if I can click on the city. There we go, 4 hit points a day, and just about to finish that level 3 hospital to give us 4 hit point recovery for the coalition. So there's lots more to update you on, and something really quite wonderful happening in the south, in the Antarctic So that's been opened up, and it's on a time lock, so it just opens at a certain point in the game. I don't know when that was, but it was open last episode, forgot to mention it. But if we get back to business, I've taken this city, Thessaloniki and Larissa. I did have quite a lot of opposition in Larissa. As you can see, I'm a bit battered. Combat recon on 1.9 out of 17 health, and the motorised troops 9.2 out of 15. But they took it. Hopefully they'll survive. If I don't get bashed by the Chosen at midnight, then the combat recon will have a chance to either go home and get repaired, or just sit there and slowly repair it at the 1 unit a day that you get. 1 hit point a day on a city that doesn't have a hospital. And then I've got my boats coming down here. They've been very helpful. They first started at Larissa, and they've come down here. There was combat recon on Athens, and I'm about to take Athens with this troop, who's going to be there in 18 minutes 16 seconds. And then this boat is coming around to help keep this city when it turns midnight, because I've only got 1 troop on it, and if the Chosen pop out, I'll have my boat there ready to support attack and defend that city. And same with this stack, really. I'm trying to bash this. I presume it's combat recon. It's unidentified. I've got as close as I can with my boat. I'll see if I can get a bit closer with my troop, see if we can identify it, and I'll rush them. But this troop needs to get through to Athens to support this troop. So I've got 2 troops on a city. Take the rest of the land as well, because when you take a city and you click on the Eye for Information button, you get debuffed for neighbouring morale. And if you don't take it now, when it ticks over to midnight, it doesn't have that chance to then increase in morale. Because when you take a province, it goes down 25% morale, like this. 25% morale there, 25%. It'll bump up past midnight, and then help buff the stat of the city you've taken. So really important that So we've got 2 destroyers and a frigate. Take out this armoured vehicle to let this troop through to land grab, and then just keep this one company. I'm going to need to ask Jonathan and Tim to start taking these islands with their air mobile troops, and I'm pretty much sewn up in Greece now. Quite a lot of resistance there, actually, but use the boats well, and quite a lot of resistance now up in Greater Serbia, so they're going to be a real pain. And in fact, it looks like these guys are in combat with someone. I think they might have been caught up in this 3-way combat in Nis, but they're not in Nis, they're in Alexinek, so it's all getting a bit confused up there, I think. 1 minute 14-13 till I give a bash into these healthy combat recons anyway, and it will be good to take them down a peg. And I've got a tank destroyer on its way, and look, it's got 11 attack against armoured vehicles, 3 against troops still, so it's pretty good. That's going to just help reinforce that front line, and not long to go. I've seen there's an armoured contact and a troop on this city, that's why I couldn't take it with this troop. And there's a radar contact there in Belgrade, but I'll be able to use my ships. So I've got 2 frigates and 4 destroyers now. I have researched, there we go, AA envelope, that's my frigate upgrade. I have researched the cruiser, but I need to build a naval base level 4, and if I just put that on the queue and hover over it, it says that I can start that in 1 day 14 hours, completed in 3 days 16 seconds. Completed in 3 days. In 3 days I can start building cruisers, which will be really, really nice. It will start to give me a bit of strength in my navy, which is really important in Waterworld, which is where we are. We'll have a look at Tim, because he's absolutely schooling these guys over here how to play the game. He's just got a really nice load of stacks. He's got air mobile troops dropping in, taking territories, and then people on the ground to take the cities as well. So he's really spreading out. He's got Hyderabad. And Then just taking all these provinces in between, mainly going for Pakistan. And it's funny because if Pakistan has, say, a territory there, if that was Pakistan's territory, Tim would be able to just fly in and take that on its own, because it's all a bit of a pickle around here. So, there we go, Pakistan. So he can take that territory without going through another one and declaring war on another country. He can keep it all segregated, because the more countries you're at war with, the more difficult your morale is when it ticks over at midnight. You get debuffed for however many people you're at war with. This is a really interesting situation. I'll show you Antarctic. I'll show you that now, and then we'll go and have a look at Jonathan's front line with Mozambique. Look, they've opened up the Antarctic colonies, and New Zealand's started to invade. So if we have a look at what's going on here, it is mainly just land, but there is a conurbation, and that's a cog city. It's components, but it's surrounded by water. So yeah, air mobile would be useful there. It doesn't look like there's a port, so you're a bit protected there, maybe. Bit difficult to get there. I wonder if they'll be able to get over with air mobile. And then there's this bit. There's no colony there. Nothing here. But there is over here. Look, troll settlement. It's called. I don't know what that means. Troll settlement. It might not mean big scary creature. It might be an acronym like, some scientific expedition. And that's a rare materials city. And looks, there's a border down the middle. And there's another, here we go, South Orkney. And that's they're all computer controlled because they've just been unlocked. But to what extent, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there or what advantages you get. There's obviously a lot of land to grab that might be quite easy, that's only controlled by one colony. It gives a new dimension to the game because it gives that southern front that maybe everyone will go down to, and that's where you start to mix and additional conflict happens, maybe. But let's look at Jonathan's front line. So this is Mozambique's capital city. They're actively playing the game. Look, they've taken over the entire South Africa, and before long they'll be going up against either Cameroon, which is over here, or Jonathan, which is Egypt, I think started as. Yeah. Jonathan, he's not got a lot of troops there. He has been totally bashed by this progress, and he's kind of sending everyone back to hospital to heal up, including his infantry officer. So he's kind of just taking the territory and then regrouping, healing up, and then going for his second wave, and hoping that probably Mozambique in the meantime doesn't move on him. But it's very strange behaviour by Mozambique, because if I were them, I would have a lot of troops on my capital city if it was on the same peninsula as someone, coming right at it, and then I'd probably be attacking them straight away. But maybe Mozambique's building up their strength as well, or just hoping they're not going to have conflict, because they did declare peace. They did ask for peace. They ran away. They were originally in a coalition with Ethiopia and the East African Federation, but I think they were up and backing up Ethiopia, but Mozambique, I think, backed off because they realised that maybe they weren't the best of allies, and they've kind of consolidated themselves in the south very well. Jonathan's got the option of going up here and around. Interesting things happening in America, by the way, which we'll have a look at in a minute. But nothing from Norway. It's strange, but Poland were just holding back as well. They didn't expand any further, but then we saw they were very active. They sent helicopters out straight away. They took over this city for Ukraine, and so lots more to come indeed. Having a bit of grief with Serbia, where they going for it really. North America is all but taken, all but Mexico. Maybe they've got an agreement with Mexico. And Nunavut, Alaska. But it's Canada, First Nations, and Greenland, actually. They've come all the way in here. So they've got a good coalition there. they'll probably go up against Brazil at some point. Brazil's still taking over the South America on their own, so they'll be a very powerful solo player going up against an equally, if not more powerful coalition up there. And we've got this powerful player down here, Mozambique. And of course, New Zealand. Is this New Zealand? No. This is New Zealand, all this purple. And then down there, and then they're going after the Antarctic colonies as well. They've got a victory site, so they're not to be sniffed at. They've got local industry. Oh, they've got local industry on the victory site, so they get a lot more resources. I wonder how much that buffs it by. And it looks like they've landed on the mainland. Yeah, they have. Look, they're playing with the big boys now. So they're cracking into Myanmar, which is not a million miles away from us. So there's going to be some conflict there at some point. And it looks like Russia took a bit back off Ukraine, who are in blue, Russia in red. So it is all kicking off. It's all live and direct on this map. And I've started building my first air superiority fighter. We're not far from building the recruiting office to pump out armoured fighting vehicles a bit quicker. Got an armoured fighting vehicle coming in 3 hours. And once I've dealt with Greater Serbia, I'm going to have to send some pretty wounded troops back to lick their wounds and heal up. What's this one? Yeah, just putting everyone forward that I can. So I've got another troop from this stack. So I've just got a armoured fighting vehicle and a SAM launcher there. And as well as building air superiority, I do quite like the idea of having the AA, because they're a bit of an all-round tool, aren't they? They've got pretty good chopper defence, which I'll need against Poland, as well as my air superiority. It would just be nice to have a stack better defended and have one of those in a stack. That's what I'm feeling. So that if you leave a stack somewhere overnight and they do get ambushed by the helicopters, then they're just a bit safer. So maybe I'll have a look at them at some point. Got the rocket launchers that I researched, and I do believe I'm in the process of got my army base level 4. And I'm building a rocket launcher. That's right. So 6 hours 43 minutes till the first rocket launcher gets spat out and sent towards the front line. Set the rally point over to Istanbul, and I did think, quite obviously, I need an airport in Istanbul so I can just fly people over from the mainland and back a bit quicker onto Europe, the Europe bridge, because I've got this pontoon. It helps me go over on that bit of land. But yeah, I need an airport for fast flipping back and forward from the mainland. And have we had our attack? We have. So next attack in 51 minutes, and they didn't do much damage, but every little helps. So they're on 29 out of 38 health. What were they on before? Something like 32. It's maybe 3 off. So it's all kicking off here. Hopefully by the time I see you tomorrow, we'll have Jonathan back. Oh, the Chosen have gone out, taken land. We'll have Jonathan back, and hopefully I'll have Greater Serbia tied up. But they're giving it some. So I think I'll stop there and say it's goodbye from me. And I'm sure if they were here, it would be goodbye from them. Over and out.